So now that we have our game plan and we've had some fun with some Canva creation, I want to talk a little bit about the clues because I feel like this is one of the most overwhelming pieces for people is how do I create these clues that are going to be not too hard, not too easy, and just how can I tap into that creativity to even figure out what the clues are going to be? Well, I'm going to share with you a way that you can create clues with AI as a helper. I find that collaborating with AI really makes a lot of this so much easier. And I'm going to be using ChatGPT, but there are lots of platforms that you can use for this. And then I want to share with you how I'm going to take those clues and create a digital breakout because I find that not everybody has access to breakout EDU boxes, or maybe doesn't have the budget to purchase the locks, or maybe it's just too overwhelming to even think about doing the breakout experience that way. So I'm going to share with you an easy way to create a digital breakout that everybody has access to and is really easy to put together. So let's get started. So we are in ChatGPT right now, and I have drafted a prompt to help generate some clues for this digital escape room that I would like to create. So let's read the prompt together. Take the role of a high school culinary teacher, expert of international cuisine, and game designer. Create a digital escape room that includes 4 clues that will unlock 4 separate word locks that will all lead to the country of France. Clue 1, a geographic location in the form of an image. Clue 2, a French delicacy. Clue 3, a famous French chef. Clue 4, a random French fact. I'd like the clues to be challenging enough that it should take approximately 30 minutes for teams of 3 to 4 to solve. I will be using Google Forms to post the clues and response validation for students to lock in their answers. So that is my prompt. So let's go ahead and see what it generates for me. Takes just a moment to think, and there it goes. Here's a 30-minute digital escape room challenge designed for your high school culinary students that leads to the country France using Google Forms with response validation. The escape room contains 4 word locks, each one unlocked by solving a culinary themed puzzle or clue. Each clue focuses on a different aspect of French culture and cuisine and builds toward discovering the final country destination. So if I scroll down here, it is going through and giving me all 4 locks. This one is giving me a clue title. It is giving me an image that I can look for. So I'll probably find that image or generate it with AI in Canva. There's lots of AI image generators out there. It's also giving me prompts and instructions, and it's giving me the word that I'm going to add in for a response validation, right? I have lock 2, a French delicacy is leading to escargot. It's giving me a little riddle and a hint, and then the word is going to be escargot. Escoffier is going to be the French chef. It's giving me a little bit of a short bio here and a coded hint. And then Bastille is going to be the French fact that it's going to include here at the end. It is even giving me a Google Form setup guide because I told it I was going to be using Google Forms for this. It's giving me instructions of how to use it. So think about this in your class, right? What are you wanting to create clues for? Whether that is maybe you are teaching fashion design, interior design, child development, financial literacy. What are you hoping that these clues are leading to? Be very specific. Again, you're going to want to have a clear objective. You're going to want to have some of those constraints and context in there. You are going to want to have very specific outputs that you want it to generate for you. You want to be as detailed as you could possibly can. And then remember that you can iterate and revise. So if you, for instance, decided, you know what, this is close, but actually I'm not really sure that I love the Bastille as that final clue. I want to change that up. Ask it to change it up. and it is going to generate something else for you. Maybe you want to change the language to maybe specific reading levels, or maybe you want to have it, I mean, you can do all sorts of different variations and varied instructions based on what that exact output is that you're hoping to receive from ChatGPT. So I encourage you just to play a little bit. Again, I'm using ChatGPT. There are so many incredible tools out there that you could use to do this. So you don't have to use ChatGPT, but it's what I typically use. And so that is what I wanted to share with you today. So the next stage after you have generated the clues is to put this into a Google form. So I'm going to share that with you next. I'm in Google Forms right now. I'm going to share with you how you can create this digital escape room very easily. First of all, I always like to share that when you go into this little palette here, you can choose an image. So if you want to maybe upload a picture of, I don't know, the Destination X image that you created, you can bring that in here. It will cut it to the right dimension, but you can also create in Canva or other digital platforms an image the exact dimension that you need. So if you just typed in Canva Google form header, it's going to give you a header the exact dimensions you need for Google Forms. So I'm just going to go ahead and click done here. And now that will be added to the top of my form. Of course, I can go ahead and I can change. It will even select some colors that are going to match my background of my image. I've given it a name. I can add a more detailed form description below. And then I will add my clues. So this might be clue 1. So I'm going to add clue 1. I'm going to add from ChatGPT, maybe it's this prompt right here. And so let's just say I'm going to copy that and I'm going to add that right to my form. Now, if it was an image, I would be able to upload, well, either a link or I could upload a photo if I have an image that I want to add in there as well. So now comes the part where you're going to add the response validation answer. So what I want to do is I want to go into my little 3 dots here, and I want to click on response validation. And it is going to be text. So I want to click on text here. And it is going to contain, so it's giving me some options, but I want it to contain certain letters. So if the answers is Bastille, and I'm going to put it in all caps, I'm going to put that here in this spot because that means that students have to put in that exact answer to be able to unlock this particular clue. So one thing that I sometimes do is put a custom error text. So I might be close, try again. Okay. Now, another thing that's helpful is to add a description here. And when I add a description, I can say something like, how many letters? There are 6, 7, 8 letters. So I'll say 8 letters and I'll put all caps. That way, you're not going to have the confusion of, do I capitalize that first letter? Are they all under, lowercase? Are they all uppercase? That really helps you or helps the students to know exactly what you're looking for in that particular lock. So think about if you were going to have like an actual tangible lock, students would know when they're looking at that lock that there are 4 digits, right? 4 numbers, 4 letters, 6 letters, however many. So you want to kind of do the same thing for students. Let them know what kind of a lock they're opening up here. So I'm going to go ahead and then move to my second question, or second clue, I should say, and I'm going to do the same thing. So again, I put in the prompt. I want to change this to short answer. I want it to be required, and I want to click on response validation. This will be a text. It needs to say contains, and then I will add the next one. So one of the other answers was Escoffier. So I'm going to add that in, and I would do the same thing. I would count up the letters. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I might say, go into my descriptions here and click 10 letters, and I'll put all caps. That way students know that that's the type of lock that they are unlocking. When I'm done, I'll go ahead and publish, and I can manage who's answering here, so I can have it be restricted or anyone with a link. I'll make sure that it's anyone with a link. Done. And now I'm going to be able to publish this and share it with anybody who wants to, for my students to be able to answer it. So I copy that link, and then I can post it to my learning management system or share it with them through a QR code. A lot of different ways that you could share that out. So really fun. Another thing that you can do also is you could print out some clues. So your clues could be in the digital form, but you could also have some of them printed out. Sometimes just having something tangible is nice in a game like this. Um, so there's a lot of different ways that you could create this experience for your students. I always think it's good if you can have like maybe a timer. So maybe you set it for 30 minutes. Let's see who can, you know, break in first or break out first. Another thing that you could do is when you have them submit this, because they will not be able to submit this form until all of their answers are correct. You could, when they get to that point, when they get to the end, and I think you can set this up here in settings. So in settings, you can put confirmation message, and you can say, congrats, you escaped. Go see Mrs. Richmond for your prize. Or you could say, go point to France on the map and show Mrs. Richmond. So you could decide how you want that confirmation message to look and what you want them to do when they get to this point. And then they're going to see that when they break out. So I hope this helps you really get excited about ways that you can do this with your content area.